Alright, here we are on our cold start video of our 71 Ford F100. I'll go ahead and grab a hold of the exhaust manifold so you can see it's nice and cold. And you'll see in some of the photos in the other video, it had miscolored one heater hose that was red. And so we replaced both the heater hose. They were looking a little puffy, and the upper radiator hose. It's just miscolored, kind of drove me nuts. But did include, we'll leave all these old school clamps that they kept for us, all the original clamps that have been on there. It's really crazy. So those will be in the glove box just for the heck of it. But got my boy Hank here. He's ready to give her a go ahead and fire up. You ready to go, buddy? He's got the Boone Ford hat on, so you can just hear it idle really nice, just smooth, just like a little tractor. You know, no issues. But also, as you can see in the photo, so this is the extra tailgate that comes with it. You can see it's really nice and rust free, super nice and straight. You can see the battery box is in really good condition. You can see the tailgate, the latch works and they're good and everything. A little bit of rust on the core support, just like right down here, but again, it's in really nice shape. Take you in here and jump in here so you can see the temperature gauge is ice cold. Alright, so hopefully you guys can stick around for the driving video and we jump underside this thing on the lift, but you can hear it just idles just like that, gives that killer little inline six sound. Alright, everybody. Here we are in a run and driving video of our little two-owner 71 F250. You know, all original Survivor truck with just killer patina and documentation. You see we got all the lights going. She's come up to temperature. You can see it running just super nice and smooth. In the last 4 years, you know, a few thousand miles, it's had a new distributor with Petronix the electronic ignition done, coil, it's had the brakes done, tailpipe. Full muffler tailpipe. It had the manifold resurfaced, electric choke carburetor rebuilt. It's had new coil put on there, all kinds of stuff. It has paperwork in there. The tires were put on there in 2014, but they obviously were used tires. You know, I mentioned before they're kind of old. But one thing I didn't mention in the previous video, which is really cool, is hard to find, is this original cap. You know, this body color cap. A long time, you know, usually it's long missing. It's replaced with like a locking one or something, but it is cracked around there, of course. And another thing is just you know, these retractors. Usually the seat belts is hanging off there. You can still see the original part number, all that stuff. This is the stuff that really makes this truck stand out. You know, you got you know, your windows go nice smooth. I'll take you over to the other side. You can see we've got all of our lights going, four-way flashers going. The only light that doesn't work is the license plate light. Replace this. So that might be something you might want to chase down. You can hear it's just got that kind of nice little, it's got a nice little rumble to it. You know, all the doors lock, all that stuff. You know, glass is really nice. You might want to grease it up a little bit, but you know, seatbelt retractor. You can see all the original rubber plugs, stuff like that. Is just super killer on this truck. Door shuts, just gives that nice deep vault-like sound to it. So alright, we're gonna get this little 300 inline six-cylinder up on the road and get her ripping. Not a lot to go over as in electronics on this girl. Obviously, you know, it's electric chokes. You don't have manual choke. Lights are on. Go ahead and turn off the hazards, and then you got your ashtray. You got defrost, heat, it works great. Nice and smooth on all speeds. You know, like the wipers, they don't have much speeds. Wipers have been replaced too, so obviously it's not raining now. So e-brake works good. Whoop! You got the dome light you can manually turn on. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the road. It's a 4-speed. I got a little shop truck that's got an inline 6-cylinder. It's a little C10. I always take off in second gear. First gear is super low, but I'll go ahead and take off. That's pretty much it. So we'll go into second. You can see the gauges are working. We got about a quarter tank, but I'll quickly just kind of throw it into reverse. So you can see she operates nice in reverse. I'm gonna start out in second here. You know, she drives like an old truck. You know, it's you know, will be a little bit cold-blooded, but it, you know, it does have at least electronic ignition. But it's manual steering, power brakes. It's got really nice brake pressure. But you know, it has that old truck sound. It's got the, you know, you can hear the kind of the whine coming through the transmission. It's a nice torquey motor, but it's not going to be a rocket ship by any stretch of imagination. But it is, you know, you can see the speedometer working. You know, the steering wheel is slightly turned, but to the right-hand side. The one of the little things is the blinker is a little bit finicky. It does stick on at first on the right-hand side. And that was a downshift into third gear. And it's just got a normal slow blink, self-cancels. But every once in a while, just going on the road, the light will come on, but not the actual external light. So I'll turn on the, you can see the left blinker working, and it also self-cancels. But it just seems to blink a little bit quicker. The right ones do about the same there. So I might be losing my mind. But so if you need any like I was mentioning, if you need any transport help, we have lots of transporters that have shipped, you know, a ton of our rigs. If it needs to be stored here for a little bit, what kind of things get figured out, it's more than welcome to stay here. I love this truck. I love the way it looks. My wife and son are in love with it too. So it just has that killer, really like iconic farm truck look. But you see it blinking on a little bit. It's kind of weird. But so this is pretty much it. It's got 410 gears. You know, no RPM gauge. You got to kind of go off your feeling. You know, 60 is pretty much it on this thing. It goes nice and straight down the road. The steering wheel is turned a little bit, but you know, it's going good. The tires are older, like I mentioned. So I'd maybe throw a new set of tires on it. I just didn't want to lose these original 16.5 wheels. I love the way they look with kind of the patina on there. If you want some 16-inch wheels, I can include a set of factory Ford 16-inch wheels off like a 90s truck. I still have the Ford logo on it. We can go ahead and do that. But I kind of want to leave that to the next owner, because there is a lot of people that might want to throw custom wheels on it and stuff like that. And there is some guys that might want to pay the expense of getting original 16.5 tires. But it brakes nice and smooth, nice and straight, no pulling. But, you know, that being said, it is an old truck. It's going to drive like an old truck, you know. It's going to drive like pretty much a near 50-year-old rig. If it's something you want to drive every day, I think it'd be up to the task. But if you're living in a congested area like where I am, that was driver error there. But here's some potholes and stuff like that. So there's, you know, that being said, there's things that you are going to want to do with this thing. You are going to want to, you know, tweak it a little bit. You might want to do some front end work. It drives nice and tight, but like I said, you know, the steering wheel is turned a little bit to the right, so I'm not too sure if it's just how the steering wheel is put on there. But to me, you know, my old truck does the same thing. You know, no real rattles. You can see those potholes and patches. Just hit one there. You know, that's what's nice about finding an original truck like this. One thing to note is this guy does have the rubber guy still, so he will stick in place. But this guy's missing that little guy, and you can get those. They're pennies, but you'd stick them up there. Those were down from me taking the pictures. Downshift into third. Gives you good resistance. You know, it wants to return to center. It's not a worn out box where you're overturning. But like I was saying, you know, this is a great truck. It's an unbelievable original truck with great documentation. But like anything, there's always, you know, it hasn't been restored. There's always room for improvements depending on who the next owner is. Like a guy like me would use this once in a while and leave it just as is. maybe replace the tires and put a set of powder coated, off-white wheels on here, 16s. But really, besides a couple little maintenance items down the road, that's about it. So I'll see, get down here to about 10 miles an hour. Downshift into second, so you can see it downshift's nice. So alright, it's a killer truck. A great platform for whatever you're looking to do. A lot of people like to buy these that have decided to get into farming, buy an old farm, or they start doing wedding venues. This is a great truck, good colors, for an advertisement piece. So, alright everybody, good luck.